Welcome to the Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, Sean Dupree. What happens when the glittering facade of celebrity parties crumbles, revealing a dark underbelly of alleged crime and abuse? Today, we're delving into a case that's sending shockwaves through the music industry and beyond. At the center of this storm is Sean "Diddy" Combs, a titan of hip-hop and entertainment. But the spotlight now illuminates disturbing allegations of sexual assault at his star-studded parties. These aren't just whispers in the shadows anymore. They're headline-grabbing lawsuits that threaten to expose a web of celebrity involvement in deeply troubling acts. As we peel back the layers of this unfolding scandal, we'll explore how the allure of fame and exclusivity may have masked a sinister reality. What really happened behind those velvet ropes? And who else might be implicated? Stay tuned as we unravel this shocking story. Last month, the music industry was rocked when Sean "Diddy" Combs, one of hip-hop's most influential figures, was charged in a federal sex trafficking probe. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal. It was the beginning of a tidal wave of accusations that would expose a dark underbelly of the glittering world of music and fame. The charges against Combs opened the floodgates. Suddenly, lawsuit after lawsuit began to surface, each more shocking than the last. These weren't isolated incidents. They painted a disturbing picture of systemic abuse spanning years, possibly even decades. The allegations are chilling. Victims claim they were drugged, assaulted, and silenced. But perhaps the most unsettling aspect of these accusations is the suggestion that Combs didn't act alone. Who else might have been complicit in these alleged crimes? How deep does this web of abuse really go? As investigators dig deeper, the question on everyone's mind is, who else might be implicated? The music industry is holding its breath, wondering which beloved stars might be next to fall from grace. This case has the potential to reshape our understanding of celebrity culture and the dark secrets that may lurk behind the glamorous facade. Now, let's dive into the most disturbing allegation that has surfaced in this case. A woman has come forward with a lawsuit that takes us back to the year 2000, to a VMAs after-party that turned into a nightmare for a 13-year-old girl. Picture this. It's September 7th, 2000. The VMAs have just wrapped up at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. A young girl, barely a teenager, is trying to talk her way into the glamorous world of celebrity. She approaches a limo driver who claims to work for Sean "Diddy" Combs. The driver tells her that Combs likes younger girls and that she fits what Diddy is looking for. He invites her to an after-party, telling her to return later that night. When she comes back, she's whisked away to a luxurious house. Inside, it's a scene of excess. Waitstaff carrying trays of drinks, loud music, cocaine, marijuana. The girl is told to sign a non-disclosure agreement. She's given a drink, a mix of orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. Soon, she feels lightheaded and finds an empty bedroom to rest. But then, according to the lawsuit, Combs enters the room with two other celebrities. What happens next is truly shocking. The lawsuit alleges that the male celebrity, referred to as Celebrity A, raped the girl while Combs and Celebrity B, a female celebrity, watched. Then it's claimed that Combs himself raped the girl as the other two celebrities looked on. The details of this allegation are horrifying, made even more so by the fact that the victim was just a child. It raises serious questions about the culture of these celebrity parties and who else might have been involved or aware of such alleged crimes. The sheer scale of allegations against Sean "Diddy" Combs is staggering. Attorney Tony Busby has stepped forward, representing over 100 individuals who claim to be victims of Combs' alleged misconduct. This isn't just a single incident we're talking about. It's a pattern of behavior spanning years. But here's where things get even more intriguing. Despite the numerous lawsuits and allegations, many celebrities potentially involved haven't been named. Why? Well, it's a calculated legal strategy. By not immediately naming names, attorneys like Busby gain leverage. They can negotiate settlements behind closed doors, offering these unnamed celebrities a chance to avoid public scrutiny. It's a tactic that plays on fear, the fear of being associated with such serious allegations. This approach also builds suspense and keeps the public engaged. Busby has hinted that when names are revealed, they will shock us. It's a promise that keeps everyone on the edge of their seats, wondering who might be implicated next. But this strategy isn't without its critics. Some argue it's unfair to those who might be innocent, leaving them under a cloud of suspicion. Others see it as a necessary evil to ensure justice for the alleged victims. As this case unfolds, one thing is clear. The ripple effects will be felt throughout the entertainment industry for years to come. Now, let's dive into the criminal case against Sean Diddy Combs. The charges are serious and far-reaching, including sex trafficking and racketeering. These aren't just isolated incidents we're talking about, but allegations of a systematic, organized operation. According to federal prosecutors, Combs is currently in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges, which include sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. But here's where it gets even more complicated. The prosecutors aren't just accusing Combs of acting alone. They're alleging that he was at the center of an extensive network. This network, they claim, was involved in recruiting victims, organizing what they call freak-offs, essentially forced sex performances, and then cleaning up and covering tracks to avoid outside scrutiny. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams put it bluntly when announcing the charges, saying, "Combs did not do this all on his own." He went on to explain that Combs allegedly used his business, his employees, and other close associates to carry out these activities. But here's where things could get even more explosive. Federal prosecutors have hinted at the possibility of a superseding indictment. Now, what does that mean? Well, it could open the door to more charges against Combs himself. But more importantly, it could also lead to charges against other defendants. This raises some chilling questions. Who else might be implicated? How deep does this alleged network go? And how many others in the music industry or celebrity circles might be nervously watching these developments? The scale of the alleged crimes is staggering. We're not talking about a few isolated incidents, but a pattern of behavior that prosecutors claim went on for years, involving multiple people at various levels of the operation. As this case unfolds, it has the potential to shake the foundations of the music industry and celebrity culture. It forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about power, influence, and accountability in the entertainment world. As we peel back the layers of this disturbing case, we're forced to confront some uncomfortable truths about the music industry and celebrity culture. How could such heinous alleged crimes go unchecked for so long? It's a question that haunts not just the victims, but society as a whole. The power dynamics at play here are staggering. We're talking about one of the most influential figures in the music industry, surrounded by other A-list celebrities. This case shines a harsh light on the dark underbelly of fame and fortune, where money and influence can potentially shield wrongdoers from consequences. But it's not just about individual accountability. This case raises serious questions about the systems and structures that allowed these alleged crimes to persist. Were there people who knew and turned a blind eye? Were there enablers who actively helped cover things up? And if so, how far does this web of complicity extend? This case could be a watershed moment for the entertainment world. It's forcing us to reevaluate how we view celebrities, how we consume their content, and how we hold them accountable. Will this lead to stricter oversight in the industry? Will it empower more victims to come forward? As the case unfolds, it's clear that the repercussions will be felt far beyond the courtroom. It's a stark reminder that no one, regardless of their fame or fortune, should be above the law. The question now is, will this case be the catalyst for real, lasting change in Hollywood and beyond? As we wrap up today's episode, we're left with many unanswered questions. Will more celebrities be named in these lawsuits? How will this case change the music industry? The implications of these allegations are far-reaching and could reshape the entertainment landscape as we know it. What do you think? Could there be more to this story that hasn't yet come to light? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This case is far from over, so stay tuned for more updates on The Real Crime Diary. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed. Hey listeners, welcome back to The Real Crime Diary. I'm your host, Sean Dupree. If you tuned in last time, we had a deep dive into the disturbing history of power abuse across different eras, looking at the connection between dominance, control, and how it plays out even today. We touched on scandals from the past and compared them with some modern-day examples, showing how these patterns of abuse, unfortunately, persist. One of the most insightful tools we've explored to understand this is my book, Power, Pleasure, and Pain, a study of abuse through time. It's not just a historical account, but an interdisciplinary approach to understanding why this keeps happening. We draw from history, philosophy, and modern case studies to explain how figures like Dominique Pellico, Harvey Weinstein, and others have exploited their positions of power for their own gain, often protected by the very systems meant to stop them. Recap of last interaction. In our last live stream, we discussed how libertinism, philosophically introduced by figures like Marquis de Sade, has shaped the way power and pleasure have been entangled throughout history. This concept ties directly into how figures like Weinstein operated, as we saw parallels between de Sade's fictional characters and the way powerful men manipulated their victims in real life. You guys had some amazing comments, asking how societal structures have allowed these behaviors to go unchecked for so long. It's a crucial question, and one that the book addresses deeply. Why this book is valuable. Now, what's powerful about Power, Pleasure, and Pain is its ability to break down these historical patterns and link them to the present. You're not just reading about ancient Rome or Enlightenment philosophy, you're seeing how these ideologies are alive today. The book uncovers how sexual violence and control have been systematically woven into the fabric of societies from ancient times right up to the modern era. It's about understanding not just the individual predators, but the systems that protect them, whether it's in royal courts, religious institutions, or today's corporate and entertainment worlds. Through these historical lenses, we also explore movements like #MeToo that are beginning to dismantle these structures. The fight for justice is far from over, but as the book demonstrates, we are in the midst of a cultural shift where legal reforms are finally addressing these long-standing issues. It's more than a history lesson. It's a guide to understanding and supporting change today. What's next? If you want to dive deeper, I suggest picking up Power, Pleasure, and Pain, a study of abuse through time. It's available now, and trust me, it will change the way you think about power, pleasure, and control. We've even got some exclusive content coming up on the channel where we'll be exploring the book's case studies in even more detail, so stay tuned for that. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to The Real Crime Diary so you don't miss any updates. Let's keep this conversation going, because understanding the past is key to changing the future.